I got a similar type of thing going on.
Let's hear it.
It was fall of 2019. I took a 23andMe.
Ooh.
And then a couple months later, I get a message from a lady who's like it's 9% match, so like fairly closely related. Mm-hmm. And she said that she was artificially inseminated in the 50s, and she wants to know who her biological dad was. And she only knew that he was a Jewish guy in the 50s who I think graduated Wayne State. Like that was the only information she had about her biological dad. And so we're thinking about it. Like I thought it might have been one of my dad's uncles or something, because he had like 5 uncles all in Detroit around that time. But obviously we're like, what the fuck is this? And then, so what happened next? Nobody in my family really wanted to like deal with her because they were like, this is annoying. And we just, my dad and his brother had kind of stopped talking to each other for a couple of years. Mm-hmm. And then through my aunt was like, he's willing to like talk to her and kind of see what's going on. So we just I gave her my uncle's information, and we just left it alone. And we didn't know what happened. And then we kind of heard that like they talked on the phone, but it didn't really go well, the conversation. But again, we weren't really talking to my uncle at that point. And then like a year later, I basically forgot about it. A year later, I just open up the app for no particular reason. I see my uncle took the 23andMe test. And we're looking at it, and my sister noticed that his percentage of relation to me was like the same as this lady. Mm. Where it should have been like 25%, he was an 11% match. So then my dad took it, and his sister took it. And turns out all of them were artificially inseminated.
Whoa! Whoa!
Yeah. They were making Jews, dude.
Sleeper agents,
That's
sleeper agents, bro.
Shit, dude.
Mm-hmm. This is Agent Blueberry Johnson,
They're doing more than just bot farms in Israel,
bro. And that's what I was gonna say. Like. If you're artificially inseminated, does the test tube have to be at least 50% Jewish?
Yeah, is it Jewish through the mom side?
I'm not sure, but there's a Jewish doctor here in the 50s who was doing all this stuff.
What the fuck?
That's crazy.
He's got like 1,000 kids. We were looking at, obviously started doing a bunch of research.
I think I heard about this.
Dude, he grew you
What's
guys
the
like
documentary on
tadpoles.
Was that?
Just nutted in a little fucking
Wasn't there?
Stillwater.
There was a
one in
documentary
Indiana.
about this. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a bunch of doctors like this.
Oh, okay.
Back in the day, who had like
Okay.
1,000 kids because they just kept fucking. All right, just use my shit.
Holy shit. So that guy is your grandfather?
So he.
Oh, because they would get paid because the babies are born. So it's like, if I don't have to get
as long
people's.
as we get them pregnant, that's,
Yeah,
that's really their
I'll just
job.
use my own.
They didn't think that 23andMe was going to start, fucking their shit up. But
Hey, so you exposing the hustle, bro.
Right. Well, so the doctor who was doing that.
That's why they went bankrupt, huh?
The doctor who we did the research, that doctor was my dad's doctor. The doctor is my aunt's father, not my dad. And then there's like agencies that research this stuff. Yeah. And so they were each able to find out who their donors are. Maybe my uncle did, I'm not sure, but my dad found out who the donor was, and my aunt was the doctor. And I have like 2 or 3 cousins. Like we met. My dad's got like some half brothers that. Yeah, it was
Holy
crazy
shit.
Yeah.
Dude,
So
Where
none
does
of you
this fall
guys
into the rules
have
of kosher?
I don't know. I don't think the Torah talks about
artificial.
no, dude, this is
Artificial
iJubot, bro. They're taking
Yeah, that's
over.
That's
Crazy
insane.
shit.
So like no one in your family is like technically like full relatives, I guess, or
Yeah, that's weird.
What do you mean? Well, I mean, they all come from the same mom, so they're all
okay.
half siblings.
So did they just think like their fathers? Did they have did you have a grandfather?
He died before I was born, but they were all raised by the same man, and I'm actually named after him. But apparently he was sterile, like he couldn't have kids. And they all like none of them knew that, and everybody's dead. Like my
sure
grandma,
hope so.
that whole generation's all gone. We can't ask anybody any questions.
That's crazy.
Honestly,
That's weird. That's wild.
I just
Matt,
want to point
every
out.
time I talk to you, I learn something new that's so interesting about you.
Yeah. So do you still get to go to Disneyland or whatever Jewish heaven is?
They don't. Do I don't know.
Is that Jewish heaven?
Yeah, no, dude.
Yeah.
Disneyland.
I don't know. Dude.
I think the guy
Walt
famously
Disney,
wasn't a big
man.
fan of them.
Yeah.
He said, "Yeah, send him here. Come on, I got something for him."
Kind of the number one Measure Comedy Podcast. Big Neil.